What's up, Cowboys Nation? If there's one thing this team is showing us every single week, it's that they're working hard, grinding through the offseason, and doing whatever it takes to get better. Whether it's on the field, in the weight room, or in the training facility, this group is all about getting stronger, smarter, and more dangerous for the 2025 season. And if you're excited to see your Cowboys leveling up day by day, go ahead and smash that like button, because today we've got a big-time update on one of our rising defensive stars, plus some serious trade buzz that's got Cowboys Twitter lit up again. Stick with me till the end. We've got a lot to cover, and trust me, you'll want to hear this full story. Let's start with the good news from OTAs. Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, yes, that guy who was breaking out before that awful injury late last season, just gave fans something to smile about. He spoke to the media this week and said one word that's music to every fan's ears: optimistic. That's right. Overshown is optimistic about the health of his knee and is targeting a return around Thanksgiving Day when the Kansas City Chiefs come to AT&T Stadium for a game that's already circled on every calendar. Here's what he told reporters: "I know it's a process. It's something we're not rushing just because I look good. There's no need to rush the process. I'm going to come back when I'm 100%, when I'm ready, when I know I can touch the field and not have to look down and worry about my knee." Now that's the kind of maturity and focus you want from a young leader. He's not chasing hype, he's chasing readiness. And after what he showed us in 2024, fans have every reason to be excited. Let's rewind for a second. Before the ACL tear in December, Overshown was making serious waves. Drafted by the Cowboys in the third round of the 2023 NFL Draft, the former Texas Longhorn went from potential project to sudden starter in no time. He played in 13 games, racked up 90 tackles, and even posted 2 11-tackle games, including one against the eventual Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. That's the kind of performance you don't just luck into. Overshown was doing it all: 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and a whole lot of energy flying around the field. Whether it was helping Trevon Diggs in coverage or providing pass rush support opposite Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, this kid earned his stripes fast, and now, under new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, Overshown will have the chance to grow in a system that values speed, discipline, and aggression, all things he's already shown he can deliver. But here's the catch. With his return coming late in the season, this defense will have to hold the line without him for the first half of the year. Now, while Overshown continues to rehab, the Cowboys are still making moves, and we've got some wild trade buzz to talk about. Because apparently, just weeks after making one of the most aggressive trades in recent memory to get George Pickens, the Cowboys are being linked to another potential blockbuster move. The latest name to hit the rumor mill? Kyle Pitts. Yep, you heard that right. CBS Sports is floating the Cowboys as a possible landing spot for the former number 4 overall pick from the Atlanta Falcons. Now let's be real. Pitts is one of the most talented tight ends in the league on paper. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic, and in the right system, he could be a nightmare matchup. Last year he had 47 catches for 602 yards and 4 touchdowns. Solid, but still not quite matching the hype of his rookie season when he went for over 1,000 yards. So why the Cowboys? Here's the logic from CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin. If we're collecting malcontents to maximize Dak Prescott's chances of getting the boys back in the dance under new head coach Brian Schottenheimer, then why not add Pitts as well? It's true, we've got $30 million in cap space. Jake Ferguson could use a dynamic running mate at TE, and hey, even Micah Parsons' brother has been campaigning for it. But let's pump the brakes for a second. After giving up assets for Pickens, do the Cowboys really want to burn more draft capital on a player who's been underwhelming and will soon need a big payday? Sure, the idea is fun, but the reality? It's a long shot. Pitts might benefit from a fresh start, no doubt. But Dallas already has to figure out how to feed CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Brandon Cooks, and Ferguson, not to mention getting Tony Pollard's replacement involved out of the backfield. There's only one football to go around. Here's where we're at. Cowboys Nation. We've got DeMarvion Overshown making real progress and looking like a major piece for the back half of the season. We've got a team buzzing with trade rumors, even if some of them feel like clickbait. And we've got a front office that, whether you like it or not, isn't afraid to make a splash. Pickens is proof of that. The rest? We'll see. But one thing's for sure. This team isn't standing still. They're improving. They're evolving. And they're preparing to shock a lot of people in 2025. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. The draft is done. Free agency slowed down. Why does June 2nd matter? Well, here's the deal. Post-June 1st transactions in the NFL bring some very real financial advantages. When a team trades or releases a player after June 1st, the dead money from that move can be split over 2 seasons instead of counting all at once against the current year's salary cap. That gives teams a lot more flexibility, and for a franchise like the Cowboys, who are always balancing talent acquisition with long-term money strategy, this is a window of opportunity. There are 2 major situations the Cowboys are involved in, one with potential trade buzz, and another involving a possible roster cut that's been brewing for months. Let's start with the first one. And yes, we're going to talk about Jalen Ramsey. The Jalen Ramsey trade rumors. Look, we all know Cowboys fans love a big name. Rumor, and this one fits the bill. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported that the Cowboys are among the teams that could be interested in 3-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who is reportedly on the trade block in Miami. Now, let's be real. The Cowboys haven't been confirmed to be pushing for this move. In fact, several insiders say it's unlikely Dallas gets involved. But here's the thing. Ramsey might only cost a 5th-round pick. That's a steal for a guy with his resume, even if he's coming off an injury and a slightly quieter season. And financially, the Dolphins would benefit big time if they wait to trade him after June 1st, as it would open up almost $10 million in cap space for them, according to Over the Cap. So if the Cowboys were going to make a play, even quietly, the move would most likely happen on or after June 2nd. Now, personally, I'd be surprised if Jerry Jones pulls the trigger here. The Cowboys already have Trevon Diggs, Darren Bland, and a lot of faith in their current secondary, but let's be honest, we've seen Jerry make surprise moves before. And Ramsey in Dallas, it'd be headline material across the league. Could Donovan Wilson be a cap casualty? Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, a potential roster cut that's been floating around since early spring. We're talking about safety, Donovan Wilson. Wilson's been a good player for the Cowboys. He's tough, he's physical, and he's been part of that aggressive secondary we've all grown to love. But this offseason, things have shifted. The Cowboys are suddenly deep at the safety position. We've seen young guys like Wanye Thomas and Marquez Bell step up. Bell even made a name for himself playing linebacker in 2023, and he held his own in coverage too. And here's something else. The Cowboys guaranteed $259,000 to undrafted rookie Elijah Clark from Syracuse. That's a big chunk for a UDFA, which means they clearly like what they're seeing there too. All of this makes Wilson's $7 million cap hit a question mark. If Dallas cuts him after June 1st, they save those. $7 million thanks to the way the cap rules work. And yes, they could have done it earlier by giving him a post-June 1st designation, but back then they hadn't seen these young guys at OTAs yet. Now that they have, the front office might be reconsidering their options. That said, the fact that Wilson is still on the roster shows there's real hesitation. Maybe they value his leadership. Maybe they're not ready to gamble on youth alone. Or maybe they're waiting to see if someone makes them a trade offer. Either way, keep your eyes on Wilson's status early next week, because the final decision could come down fast. Let's zoom out for a second. This offseason has been quieter than most for the Cowboys. Until that surprise George Pickens trade shook things up. Now, with June 2nd approaching, we could see another ripple. Maybe it's a bold move for Ramsey. Maybe it's a tough goodbye to a fan favorite like Wilson. Or maybe it's something no one's talking about yet. This is the kind of moment where smart teams make smart business decisions to set themselves up for a strong fall. And make no mistake, the Cowboys aren't just trying to win games in September. They're building a roster that can contend in January. That's what makes every decision over the next few days so important. So now I want to hear from you. How excited are you about DeMarvion Overshown's return? Do you think he can get back to form and be a difference maker this year? And what about Kyle Pitts? Would you pull the trigger on a trade like that? Or do you think this offense is already loaded enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reading every single one. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any breaking Cowboys news or updates. This season is going to be a ride, and we're bringing you with us every step of the way. How about them Cowboys?